Okay, stand by for live
I see
audio.
us on the OGAT channel
Okay, good.
on TV.
All right, let me confirm that YouTube is good.
Hang on a second. And
All right. So you're all set to start.
we're not up on YouTube yet, and we're not up on the on Cloudcast. We're on YouTube right now.
Okay, good.
Well, we're not up on Cloudcast yet,
All right, let me confirm.
and we're on Cloudcast. We're on everything right now.
Beautiful.
Back up. Are we ready to go?
So you're all set. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. YouTube yet, and we're not up on the YouTube right now.
A little bit of an echo.
I do. You know what? That's me. I'm trying to get rid of it. I don't know where it's coming from.
Everything right now.
Oh, you know what? It's not me.
I think it's Saul. He keeps lighting up.
We're ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, let's use that audio.
All right, we're gonna start.
I'm trying to get rid of it. I don't know where it's coming from.
Boy, that's annoying. Who's is
You know what? It's
Is
not.
somebody playing? Is somebody playing it in the background?
Okay.
Does somebody have their TV on or something?
I don't have a TV in here, so it's not me.
That's my TV and it's off.
Boy, that's annoying.
My TV doesn't have cable anymore.
Must be a bleed.
It is interesting. I'm trying to see if I can find the source. Will I'll see if I can find it, and then if I can't, we'll have to try to ignore it.
Let's go mute one by one.
Yep. Because I can't see.
I'll do mine first. Maybe.
Interesting. I'm trying to see if I can find the source. I don't know. I'll see if I can find it, and then if
Yeah, it looks like it's Saul.
it is Saul. You were right, Mike. That's it. All right, somewhere in the line, there's a video playing, and Saul's maybe another tab somewhere on his desktop, possibly.
Ron, unmute yourself.
Saul, unmute yourself.
Saul, it's you.
It's okay because I'm going to cut this out when this goes on, YouTube and our normal programming. So this will be edited out, but people at
There
home
he
are
is.
just going to stand by.
Saul, you're back.
I'm back. It should be okay now.
All
All
right,
right,
cool.
thanks all. You're all set. Sounds great.
Sorry about that. All right.
Should be.
Okay, welcome to the OGAT meeting of August 11th. I'm the chairman of the committee, Saul Silverstein. We have with us tonight the assistant coordinator, Chris Kelly, committee member Mike Muddett, reporting secretary Marlene Silverstein, coordinator Ron Davis, member Gary Del Piano, and member Bob Kelly. I think I got everybody. All right, so agenda for tonight. First item on the agenda is questions and comments. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I do. Do we have anything that scrolls that says when the programs are on anymore? It seems like every time I go to 79 to watch something, it's of course in between shows, and I wait for a while looking for some kind of a TV guide, and I don't ever see it. Do we have something like that anymore, or no?
I don't show the guide too often, but I know we talked about putting the guide back up. So I think the guide is good to have. So what we do is we show two guides that I'm going to put back up. I'll put back the guide that comes in between programming, and then there's a guide that will scroll all the time at the bottom of the page. So that way we can make sure we see everything. Some of the shows were short. We didn't have a ton of programming this month, so
Right.
I could see why there may have been more gaps than usual. But
I didn't see a show every time I looked. It was always,
yeah,
but and I'm not even as worried about that because the summer do have shorter meetings and all that. But I just wondered why there's not a guide. So I know,
Yeah.
well, I'll come back at 7:30 and see this
Yeah.
or that.
I was also experimenting with a guide that would kind of automatically update. And unfortunately, I haven't gotten far enough to get that like reliable. So right now, when I change the programming, I also go and change every guide. It'd be nice if like when I make my programming blocks, it just kind of automated and kind of
Yeah.
synced up with everything. It was like, oh, well, we see what you scheduled. Let's show that out there to the public. But there is a little bit of a transition that has to happen to get it out and updated. So I'll just make sure that we keep up on that whenever we change the programming. So that way we can all know what's going on when. So I totally hear you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? If not, the next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the July 7th meeting. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to me.
I see Mike put his hand up. Bob Kelly, it's the second. Thank you very much. I think we've all read it. Are there any comments on the minutes? No, then I take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Unanimous. Meeting minutes are approved. I sent you all a copy of the budget. So where we stand is on miscellaneous supplies and equipment, we spent about 5%. On the recording secretary, about 6%. Coordinator, about 17%. Assistant coordinator, about 10%. And the camera operators, about 7%. So for the first month of the year, we spent about 13% of our budget total. Any questions on the budget? Nope. Next item is the coordinator report. Ron, do you want to go through it or you want me to?
Sure. On the comments, Assistant Coordinator Kelly reports that the OGAT studio has been functioning smoothly through July with no notable problems. The optimum internet service was canceled and the modem and router returned to Altice since we are now using the town's internet access. Assistant Coordinator Kelly contacted AT&T to switch our cellular service used for remote broadcasts to their FirstNet system to provide unlimited data at a lower cost. And then our present 5 gig plan. We are awaiting receipt of the new SIM card from AT&T. Assistant Coordinator Kelly has been editing the bicentennial interviews. Each interview will be given a flash drive containing his or her interview. Work continues on the consolidating portions of all the interviews on a single program.
Okay. Yeah, so the other summary for July, we had live hits, we had 95 on Cloudcast, video on demand 100, and on YouTube, live and video on demand 355, which is kind of low. It is summertime and people do go away and may not be watching OGAT. I do have some questions. You gave me a receipt for the equipment return. I look at the receipt and it only calls out what looks to be the modem. It doesn't call out the router.
Right.
We did return the router, didn't we?
Did. Yep.
Yeah, you don't pay rent on the router.
Right. You only pay rent on
Yeah,
the
but
modem.
they didn't record that we returned it.
Yeah.
I don't think they care. It could have ended up in the waste bin for all they care.
Yeah.
Is that
All
their router or ours?
What?
It is.
There.
It's their router.
Their router.
It is their router. They gave it to us, but then again, I don't think it's. It may not be a charge. If you pay for the modem, that probably just includes a router along with a modem.
No, but
right?
you said there was a second. They gave us a separate piece of equipment, did they not? For the router. Was the router
Have
a
they
separate
charged us
piece of
for it?
equipment?
Have they tried?
I don't
to
know.
charge
I don't know
for
if we were paying for that separately in the bill, but we
No.
were given,
No, we weren't billed for it. The question is, you returned two pieces of equipment to them.
of course, yeah, I did.
Two
Yep.
separate pieces of equipment. They only put one
Two
on the
separate.
receipt. That's all I'm saying. They only put one piece on the receipt.
I
So
don't
I'm
think-
just concerned in case they all of a sudden come back and say, you didn't return all the equipment. We don't
Right.
really have proof.
As long as they said they got two pieces, we're okay.
They don't, that's the problem. They don't think, they didn't put it on the receipt.
I have a router. You can
Oh, they
put
didn't.
online, you can give it to them if in
Yeah,
fact.
I have the same thing. I have one of their junk routers in my basement. We can give it in.
Probably got a serial number they'll check. Any event,
Told finance, I said we should not be getting any more charges from Optimum. So hopefully it stays that way. I'm not,
yeah, they were supposed to send us one more bill, and I warned Corinne about that in finance.
okay.
And said if they send a second bill, we gotta call them up and tell them that they've made a mistake.
And that
Um,
happens too, because I know someone that tried canceling their bill, and that even after they paid that final fee, they still got invoices for that
Yeah,
fee that was already paid. So they're interesting over there.
Yeah,
The other
I think
thing-
the advisory council gets those complaints from people who have had that same problem.
all right. The second question I had was the SIM card. Don't they like overnight those things typically? Why?
We
are we-
got the SIM card today.
Oh, we got it. Okay.
Yep, and it works. I tested it.
All right, great. So we are now, can now do unlimited data on that remote broadcasting. We're not, no longer limited to 5 gigabytes.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Very good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it is it's a great deal. It's like, was
Yeah.
it $37 a month or something like that? I forgot. And we were paying like 53. Right. So it's a great deal. Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the coordinators report.
So moved.
Gary and Mike, thank you very much. All in favor?
I
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is internet access. We just talked about that. We are now on the town's internet system. Action items, we tabled this last month. Because Chris was basically buried with bicentennial interviews. Are you still spending a significant portion of your time on the bicentennial projects?
Yeah, I would say pretty much anytime I have some free time in terms of OGAT time, I try to I'll be busy. I'm still busy with it. Yeah. The short answer is yes. I'm still
So you
pretty
really don't have a lot of time to address these items at this point still.
you know what? It's something I want to actually do relatively soon, because I am looking to sort of bring some more people in, possibly maybe 1 or 2 people. I'd like to have a little bit more flexibility as to who can be available to make meetings. I think that would be helpful. So I'd like to kind of put some of that stuff together so that when I do have some people come in, I can have something prepared for them. So I would say, I'm going to start picking that up again. There's some slight things that have changed just with the way things have kind of evolved. So make sure I'll update whatever I have and come up with something more finalized, and I'll share with you guys before I wrap it all up. So hopefully, I would say within between now and October, I would say hopefully by the beginning of October, I could have basically a whole procedural, including anything that like a camera operator would need to sort of operate, sort of anything in that spectrum, I could have kind of documented.
Okay, great. So have you identified any people who could help you at this point, or are you?
No. I just thought about it, and I said, I know it's been a little bit slower in terms of covering meetings, and in July and August, it's a lot of people are going away and stuff, so haven't needed the support at the moment. But now that things, we're halfway through August almost, so I know it's going to pick up again, and just want to make sure that we have enough people to cover the meetings. And I don't mind doing meetings myself, but I also like to have, someone there. I like to have, 2 people at some of the meetings to kind of help out and keep things efficient. So, and then especially for covering other things like, events and things, I like to have people involved. I like to have multiple camera operators. So I just want to make sure there's enough, I don't want to put the stress on, I don't want to put, too much on one person to make it, I want to make sure enough people, we could sort of divide up the work and make it, make it so everyone has a chance.
So before COVID, you had 2 people that were helping you. One was, I think someone from University of New Haven. Another was one of the local kids, I think, from the high school. Are those people no longer available? It's been 2 years. I'd be surprised if they were available.
Yeah. We have 3 people. We have Lauren. We have my sister Lauren, who has picked up some shifts in other areas and sort of her schedule's picked up a little bit in other places. So I haven't had her as much coming in. She's been busy. So the other guy from UNH, I don't know if he's really available that much anymore. I haven't been calling him just because he sort of picked up another job. And then so the one person that I call when I need a hand now is Will, who's I think he's at Quinnipiac now. I found him through Amity. I got in touch with one of the teachers that teaches a TV production class at Amity, and I had success finding him there. And he's been great. I call him when I need him, but I just don't want to, with Lauren having a busier schedule and our other cameraman Zila not really being around much anymore, I'd like to kind of bring in 2 other people to sort of fill in that gap. And Lauren is still available here and there. She may come in to do things, from time to time. But I know that she's going to be busier going forward. So when things start to pick up here, kind of want to be prepared for that. And I know UNH has some great options. I mean, I've had success finding people at UNH through other scopes of work. I know they have a really good production program there. A lot of good students there. And then Amity has some really good filming programs too. And if we could take on someone from the high school, we've always had good luck with the high school too. So I got 2 avenues there I could look at. And then if you guys have any suggestions as to who I could pick up, I can, certainly use some other suggestions, but I'm going to try those.
Okay, that's great. Any other suggestions for Chris? No?
Chris, how are you getting paid for this extra time you're putting in?
Well, fortunately, right now, I'm able to kind of set aside some OGAT time, and like I said, with meetings not being as busy, I can sort of delegate some more time to the bicentennial, and things have kind of worked out in a sense where we're at the point now where things are kind of streamlining and I can be efficient. So right now I'm trying to stay within my confines of my hourly limit. I know that finance has expressed to me, if things do pick up and the hours start to go over my allotted time that I would normally try to stay within, they said that, they're able to be flexible and compensate me for any extra time that I do put in. So if I do put in extra time, I know I'm going to be okay. I know I have some flexibility there. So just going to try to keep going. And I know things are going really well right now in terms of getting things, out to people and getting the flash drives done. So I'm going to, just keep on moving along.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else for Chris? No. All right. Next item is the CAC grant, Cable Advisory Council grant. We have not received our grant funds yet. I hear they're coming soon. And I think I may have to get a new quote from B&H because I think the old quote expires today or tomorrow. And we had to do that last year too. We had to go get them to reapprove the quote or change the quote. When I do that, it'll probably be high. I suspect it'll be higher because 2 items that were in the original quote are on sale for a limited time, and that time is long past. Plus 2 items they did not want to quote because they were out of stock or back ordered, and they just didn't want to quote them. So I have to get those 2 items added if they're available. So we'll see how we end up with the grant versus what the final cost is, and if the town is going to have to pick up any of it or not, or we have to drop some items. But we will find out once we get the grant, once I get the new quote, and see how things go. Any questions on that?
Over the past, I would say, is it 8 years we've been getting this CAT grant?
I don't know the
About
exact.
8 years now, right? I would say.
Yeah.
I think it's longer than, it
longer than that?
started in 2008,
Okay, so that's 14 years. Wow, okay.
14 years.
I've been on this committee much longer than I should have been. Do you have any idea how much money over those 14 years that we've gotten from the grant?
Not off the top of my head, but I can
You say
get
the average is $25,000 a year or more?
probably that's a good average.
Yeah,
That's how I considered it. Now, if you say 25,000 times 14 years, and you see how much money OGAT has saved the town of Orange by being proactive and getting involved with CAT grant and all that, that's an amazing amount of money that we've kept out of the budget and in the citizens' pockets. So I just want, like when we talk about, well, we can maybe go back to the town and say, could you give us a little more money? Think about all the money we've saved them over those years. Probably close to $300,000.
it's a little over.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a bad thing to also, I know I'm jumping items, so sorry, Sal, for the town report. It may be worth adding a line in that, since 2008, OGAT has received this much in grant funding.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and then when we brought it up today, you don't think about it all the time, but you think of it when you said, Saul, that if we don't have enough money, we'll go back to the town and ask them if they could, help us out a little bit with that fund. They should be happy as heck to see us, when we come to them, and, really. With all,
They are.
As happy they are for everybody asking money, yeah.
Yeah, what other groups don't ask them for money or go out and get grants? That's what I want to know.
The director of finance is enjoying it.
I'm sure.
She's happy about it.
I actually have a question about grants that we brought it up. I don't know if this is the right time to bring it up, but I do know that there's other grants to take advantage of, like the
There is.
PEGPESHA grant. Do we have, I'm not sure. Have we ever looked into the PEGPESHA grant?
Is it currently
I
funded?
looked at
'Cause
it
it's-
once.
yeah.
Pegpedia, I looked
Oh,
at
it's
it once.
Pegpedia? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Wikipedia. Yeah, I thought it was a little complicated in the process, and we pretty much got everything we wanted from the CAT grant.
I understand. Yeah.
So I didn't think it was worth the extra effort to try even more since we were getting.
But also with the PEGpedia grants, you fill out the grant, whatever funding they have, they send out. Your application comes in, it goes on the bottom. If it's acceptable, it goes on the bottom of the pile. And as more money comes in, the top of the pile gets the money. Yours just moves up that way. So you could wait, who knows how long before you even know you're going to get money from them. So
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, and I mean, the other problem with that, and I know when I was living in Monroe, we faced this because we didn't have the program through the area council that Marlene and Ron fought for, and that Peg Pisha was our only funding. It's been unfunded by the state like 6 times. Like it's in the law. Yeah, it's in the laws that the money comes from the cable companies and it goes to this
Right.
grant, but through multiple different administrations, it's been stolen and put elsewhere. So I know that was a big thing for other government, PEG councils, that, this needs to stop getting stolen, but they've yet to been able to plug that hole in the state budget. So to Marlene's point, that when it has money is very rare.
The other thing is, some years we ended up where the final cost that we were charged by the vendor, B&H, was less than the original quotes. And we ended up having to find other things to buy. And sometimes that was a struggle, actually. It's what do we need, So, I'm kind of happy with what we get at this point.
Yep.
That doesn't mean it'll change. It won't change in the future, but.
Ron and I have spoken about it. The $100,000, unfortunately, the way the law is written, we have to expend the entire $100,000 and you have to report to us exactly how you spent the money we gave you. So like this year, you're going to get more than you asked for because we didn't get $100,000 in requests, and CAT cannot, the Cable Advisory Council cannot use any of that money for postage, for advertising, for anything like that, which is why I've switched to doing it all via email.
Yeah. The cable company gives us $2,000 to do those things, so it's separate.
Yes, and to be quite honest, it's nice that Altice has kept it up, because I think the law got changed and they don't have to give us that $2,000 anymore.
No, they don't. That's just something they do.
Yes.
It's true.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll may have to actually find some other things to buy this year, Chris and Ron.
I'll keep that in mind.
What I just heard was we're getting more than we asked for, and if the amounts don't go up significantly when they requote it, maybe we'll have some additional items we can purchase. So think about what else we might need. That's it for CAC grant. Equipment inventory, nothing has been purchased, so that hasn't changed. Ninth item on the agenda is committee vacancies. There's still the 4 of us, and I have not heard anything from the first selectman's office about any additions. The last item on the agenda is the town annual report. So I sent you all a draft of what I wrote, and it's some of it's pretty boilerplate, similar to what I wrote last year. Can't find my copy right now. Give me a second. Oh, right here. Got it. Okay. So first paragraph is just the goal of OGAT, to make government understandable and transparent. Second paragraph, we talk about how we operate. The third paragraph is a listing of the programs that we showed during the year. And then that's pretty much it. Mike made a suggestion that I add a sentence about how much funding we have received in grant funding since 2008, when the grant first started. And I will add it. I may have to take something else out because I'm limited to exactly 1 page.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Specific
good.
font and a specific size of font. So right now I'm using the whole page. So some sentence or two may come out to put that sentence in, but it's not a big deal. I think we'll add it. Anything, any other comments? If you've all read it, any comments on that report?
Good.
Yeah, it looked great.
It looked good, but I do agree.
It really does.
We should say how much we've saved the
Yep.
town over these years.
Yep. Okay, if there's nothing else, anyone have anything else?
I move we adjourn.
I heard a motion to adjourn by Bob Kelly and a second by Mike. Thank you. Thank you all for participating, and we'll, as the song says, see you in September.
Okay.